to leave to leave the ghosts when I leave here.
Yeah.
I'm taking the live animals with me, but I'm leaving behind the ghosts. Well, I don't think I can take ghosts with me. Dog,
How do you know that? How do you know they won't follow you?
Yeah.
Archie, you're going to be a fucking ghost soon if you carry on trying to eat my biscuits.
Oh dear, that is funny. Right, I'm going to share this out. Eric, chat to Jonathan while I do such a task.
Yeah, but like Viz said, I don't see why they wouldn't follow you anyways.
I think the ghosts are more to do with the place than the person. And the ghosts that have been in this house were here before we arrived, so...
Oh, okay.
Will you take your snout out?
Unruly dog.
Look what's...
Bobby.
Hi, Bobby. Hope you're well. Still eating turkey.
Did you see him?
Yeah.
Bobby's table.
No, the dog trying to steal his biscuits.
Oh. I don't know how to send it to an individual. Eric, can you do that?
I've just noticed your beard is different.
Well, I got it. I'm on my phone, so I can't send it to anybody.
Well, give me the link and I'll put it up in the places, you big goose.
Hang on. Let me send it to you here. Saint. We're useless today. I'm so sorry, Bobby. And to people in the chat, we just went live. We thought it was a great idea because we were having a very good conversation about big cat sightings across the UK.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, as soon as they tune in, they actually hear a long conversation about my dog eating this. It's really not a great interest to anybody.
It is funny. It is funny. But going back to the big cat sightings, there have been an explosion in reports right across social media. Oh, we saw this big cat, look at Scotland. There was a map of Scotland and it was literally covered. And it's the same with the UK and everywhere else. But what got me and what I put to Jonathan was too many of these reported big cat sightings can be explained. For example, getting the definition of a house cat. Now, some house cats are quite large. I know my John, you can't really see how huge he really is, but he is a big boy. And when they take a photograph, it's all out of proportion and they've zoomed in. And they're actually taking pictures of house cats.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll claim it's a big cat.
Well, a Maine Coon is at least 4 or 5 feet long, so.
Yeah.
But I do know that there actually is confirmed sightings by the government, though. So they are out there, just not as many as people are saying.
The trouble is, though, Nico, and I don't know if Jonathan will back me up on this, they claim these sightings, but there is no evidence to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
You will not see remains of a kill. You will not see big paw prints. And yet they'll still claim that there's a big cat there.
Nico's going to take me with him one of these days when I go over there.
Yeah, I mean, the trouble is that especially since everybody's got a camera now, because everybody's phone has a camera.
Yeah.
People are taking pictures at the corner of the car windows, and they're driving along, and they think, "Oh shit! I've seen a big cat. Oh golly, I've seen a puma. It's there. It's going to be attacking people soon." Well, it's just a, it's half done. It's not even a fucking cat.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I got the car and get out and not chase it, but try to get a good picture of it. I did that with a fox last year because we don't see them a lot, but we have them.
Yeah.
So I was able to get a nice picture of one.
I'll tell you an experiment that I carried out. Not the sort of experiment I'm going to be carrying out on you, Archibald. Sorry, I'm having a frank exchange of views with the cat and the dog about the fact I have biscuits and they want them, and I'm not letting them have my biscuits. There have been a whole string of sightings at a particular where there's a little humpback bridge crossing a road just outside the village I live in. And for years, there have been sightings being reported to me of both large black and smaller browner cat-like creatures. So we put up trail cameras going across that bridge.
Yeah.
And we put up trail cameras under the bridge so you could see the waterway.
Mm-hmm.
And we put up trail cameras in the obvious pathway that's used by animals going across there. And we left them up there for 4 months.
Yeah.
We got loads of pictures of badgers, foxes, red deer, roe deer, something I think was a muntjac, and a fat chick having a pee in a bush.
Brilliant.
We even got a photograph of what looked, and I'll show it to you one of these days, looked like a penguin. It wasn't a penguin, it was a lesser spotted woodpecker peering from round the side of the tree trunk.
Wow.
Looked just like a penguin.
Yeah.
I think that one of the problems is that people hang on, I've just had sorry, I'm doing about 15 things at once again. We are so, as a society, all across the Western world, we're so divorced from the reality of the natural world. People drive along. They're driving along first thing in the morning on the way to work on a nice misty morning. They see something brown crossing the road in front of them really fast. They think, my God, I've just seen a big cat. They haven't. They've seen a roe deer.
Yeah.
But people, because we are so ingrained with the idea of big cats are of such cultural importance that, for example, if you think of it, we've got Lynx deodorant, Puma running shoes, Black Panthers have been used to sell everything from condoms to ice cream. And everything in between.
Yeah.
So people are, roebucks aren't in anybody's cultural headlights.
Yeah.
So they see something, they immediately think it's a puma or a panther or whatever. Whereas what they're actually seeing is something they hadn't actually thought of.
Yeah.
Which is something that's perfectly natural and supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And that since, quite rightly so, deer hunting with hounds has become illegal, and I'm totally for it becoming illegal, but there's been an explosion in the population of the deer around this country, and people are seeing deer, not realizing what they are and thinking they're big cats. I'm not saying there are no big cats. I've seen a puma once and something black that I think was a melanistic leopard. And Richard Freeman's seen at least one. And we've examined kills that have been obviously done by big cats and footprints that have been obviously done by big cats. I'm sure they are here, but they're not here in the numbers that everybody thinks they are, because people are, it's a weird cultural mechanism that's causing an awful lot of these sightings.
But people, they've got to remember, farmers will not, and I repeat, will not put it out there publicly that there's been kills from their livestock or things have been seen on their land for fear of damage to their crops by the general public. So even, I'm not saying that there isn't, that, you know, when in the 80s when people let these big cats go that they had as pets, they sort of chance it on their own, that maybe one or two have survived and they have interbred and they have had offspring and they're thriving quite nicely because they got Mr. Farmer Brown there with his herd of sheep that they can pick off every now and again. But a farmer is not going to announce it publicly to the general public. That's something that they're not going to do. So when I see stuff, especially on social media, one, I have to ask, is the witness credible? You need to be speaking to the witness and not believe everything the witness tells you. I think the witness, you have to have these interview skills that, Jonathan, you've taught me. Don't believe everything, find out for yourself, and get as much information as possible before you start wasting your time on a goose chase, basically.
Problem with spotting an actual big cat, though, by the time you get out of your car, look to see what it is. It's already up on you. So
not always. I think they will run away because Dan and I, in Huntingdonshire, where I live, and it's widely known that there are lynx. There is wild lynx here, and they have been here for many years. And we did happen to see a wild lynx, and they're more frightened of us than anything else. They will run away. They look at, well, this particular one looked at us as if to say, yeah, and what? And then turned around and went. It didn't hang about, so we couldn't get anywhere close to it.
I mean, sometimes they do, but we've had mountain lions attack joggers here. So
yeah. So, Jonathan, what advice do you give to people that want to go out, or they hear of these sightings of big cats? What should we do as investigators? Or let's say I had a sighting or had footprints in my garden of a big cat and I was worried about it. What is the best thing to do for people? So from both sides of the camp, if you like.
Well, you have footprints of a big cat in your garden, then you're probably living in the Highlands of Scotland or something. I think highly unlikely. And, you know, like I said, these things exist. I've seen one. I know they exist. But the people who claim that they've got them in their gardens or got them crossing a suburban housing estate or hang around by the skips in Waitrose, I heard once.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't afford to shop at Waitrose, so I'm damn sure the big cat can't.
What about in wooded areas or in fields if they see them and they want to report them?
I would say if you see them, you can report them to me, you can report them to you. Don't tell the authorities, because the authorities aren't going to do anything about it. And anyway, what do you want them to do about it?
Yeah.
If they were going to do anything about it, it would involve guns.
Yeah.
And
what about newspapers? Do you think do you think the newspapers are a good thing? Should people be going to the newspapers with their pictures and things? Do you think that's a bad thing?
they will pay for any old crap these days, the newspapers. And that actually brings us on to another quite disturbing cultural thing, cultural mechanism that's happening in Britain at the moment. I don't know if it is happening in America, but I bet it is. Now, Viv, you will know who I am talking about. It's no names, no pactoral, as my granddad always used to say, which apparently was a First World War army saying. But you and I were in a meeting fairly recently where somebody was saying that they wanted to have an open forum where everybody's witness statements would be respected.
Right.
Even when you knew damn well they were even when you knew damn well they were lying, because everybody has the right to be respected with what they'd say they've seen.
Yeah.
Well, bollocks. I think people don't have the right to be respected when they are deliberately trying to mislead.
No.
And to deliberately mislead for all sorts of quite dodgy reasons. What I would do is say that you have to take every witness statement you have with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
One thing I've been trying to do for years, and I've had 3 different people start to work on it. One died and the other 2 lost contact and gave up. But what I want to do is to do there used to be a parlor game that people played when I was a child. And you had a pack of cards and it had different animals' heads, bodies and tails. And you could put it together to make a funny animal. And I can't remember what it was called.
Yes, I remember that.
And it's basically a children's version of the old surrealist picture game, Exquisite Corpse. But I've been trying to get somebody to be able to make some software that we can give away for free to anybody who wants to be a researcher, which has a mixture of all the different big cat and dog heads, bodies and tails, and you can choose all your different body parts and put it together, and then
a bit like an e-fit that you get off criminals.
Yeah, exactly. I want to call it Identicat.
Identicat.
But I want to give it away.
Yeah.
And that's the trouble is most software developers don't want to give stuff away. They want to flog it. And I don't believe in flogging things. I believe in giving stuff away as possible.
Do you know what? Nico's just...
Sorry, only if it's suitable for under 18s tonight. If you are easily offended, do not watch.
Yeah, it's in case we swear and because people in America sometimes don't like swearing and things like that.
Fuck them.
Well, in that case.
All right, so Nico says, one thing I found out recently, there is a big cat sanctuary near me which has been closed down by a court order for numerous reasons.
I know the one you mean, Nico.
Including a cat nearly killing the sanctuary owner. I have no doubt that the possibilities...
in the papers, wasn't it? This week, the guy got taken to hospital and it bit off half his hand, I think.
You want to, Nico, talk to Dan, because near you, one of the cats did get out. It got let out accidentally, and then all the public were going, "Oh, we've got the sighting of this big cat," which was actually came from the zoo that was let out accidentally, and there's a story behind it. They had to go out with the vet and quickly dart it and get it back into the zoo. But it was all in the press and in the newspaper, big cat sighting, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't. It came from the zoo. So, yeah, it's one of them that, you know, Dan's got a lot of stories that weren't put out in the press about the animals.
Yeah.
Where my cats are scratching me on my back. I got claw marks all up and down my back.
It's because she
Well,
loves you.
just thank the Lord that you don't have a big cat in the room.
Yeah.
Or else you probably wouldn't have a back left.
Chantel is from South Africa, and she normally
Good.
tunes in. But this time she's watching from the UK. So I bet that's strange for you, Chantel.
Hope she's staying too.
Yes. Sort it out, Chantel. Lorna says, my dad saw one walking out in the wilds in Yee Highlands. He kept it to himself for fear of ridicule, but told me it didn't seem to be
Ridicule.
Not that it hung, neither did he. So they both hung around, she meant.
Yeah,
Christine,
the one I saw just crossed the road ahead of me. And I was driving across Bodmin Moor. And I had a camera around my neck, and I was so completely gobsmacked. I just sat there going, and it walked. It was a puma. You could tell it was a puma. It couldn't have been anything else. And it just walked across the road in front of me.
Yeah.
I saw Nico's comment, but this is the cat that keeps scratching me. Good.
So, Chantel loves it when people swears. Wonder if it.
Hey, Chantel, right on, babe.
Mm-hmm.
In South Africa, big cats escape the reserves all the time and go wandering down the street. Just another day in Africa.
One of the things that's interesting in South Africa is that there have been several populations of leopards which have become like the urban foxes in Britain. They've become semi-actually urban creatures, living commensal with humans, which I've always found fascinating.
Yeah.
Because we're such a wasteful society. There's so much available food that we produce, as well as the number of rats and other vermin that prey on that live on our refuse, that it's surprising that there aren't more.
Yeah. You watch, there'll be a cryptid type creature, ratty type thing that comes out. You watch. I'm just waiting. We had the pig man recently, so we're waiting for a ratty man or something a little bit different to come out, because it seems like every other month there is a new cryptid that somebody's seen and it hits the press because they want to be in the newspapers. It's like people need to get a grip. Like, come on, what's wrong with you?
Well, there've been stories of giant rats in Britain for the last 30 years.
Well, I know the rats.
Rat man.
The rats in New York are big, and I've seen them in real life. They're at least 3 to 3 feet long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, people keep quite widely now West African pouch rats as pets. And when Chantal, you're a darling.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Rita, in the kitchen.
How did you know Rita was in the kitchen?
She's always in the kitchen because Eric won't let her out of there.
Yeah.
Eric's nasty to Rita.
She doesn't know how to cook, so that's why they say that.
No, she does know how to cook. You just won't let her.
Poor. Yeah.
Poor Rita. Exactly.
Do you know how to cook? She can't hear me now. Yeah. Do you know how to cook?
Oh dear. So yeah, these I get very frustrated though, Jonathan, because of AI. Everyone wanting to be someone, therefore they have to make up shit and put it on social media. If I send a picture a little bit doctored and make out it's this and send it to the newspaper, I'll become famous and people will respect me more.
Yeah.
The other thing as well, and which is a biggie for me, now I'm going to really upset some people now, is people's state of mental health. What drugs are they taking? Can it bring hallucinations? Can it distort actually what they're physically seeing?
Mm-hmm.
And can you get me some?
Yeah.
Well, talking about that, have you ever seen that guy that puts up those pictures on Facebook that, of giants with these people and stuff like that? That's all AI generated.
Hmm.
And I have to be skeptical of a lot of things that I'm hearing and seeing, even some from good friends of mine that, oh, I got this sent to me and this is credible and I believe it. Just because you say it's credible doesn't mean that is right.
Yeah.
I've seen so many. Hello, gorgeous Archie. Look at that beautiful face. Sorry. I'm in love with that dog.
Boys and girls, he is not an apparition. He's a bad behaved Jack Russell who's trying to get some biscuits.
He is a dog with attitude.
It's Daddy's little boy, and I love him very much.
Oh dear. The Rat in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Could be.
I'm very proud to say I've never seen that film.
Teenage Mutant. Well, what happened was a nuclear substance got on the rat, and the rat turned into like half human, half rat. So,
Rita, we were sticking up for you then. We think Eric is cruel. So what was we talking about? Yes, and this is not just the cryptid thing. I mean, this is like in every day, all walks, whether it's ghosts, UFOs, cryptid, Bigfoot, big cats, black shark. It encompasses all of it because people are too scared to be asking the questions.
Is it real?
Because it's not the PC thing to do anymore. But if you want the truth, I listened to an interview that this guy had with, I mean, he's all grown up now, but there was the Werewolf of London. Do you remember that, William? And this guy that had this mental health condition,
Yep.
they called it lupus something, and he really did think that he turned into a werewolf, acted like one, howled like one, scampered off like one, did all these strange things, but that doesn't make him a werewolf.
Nope.
That doesn't make him a wolf. He's just somebody that's a bit, that had these problems, whether it carried on with him for the rest of his life or whether he just had it for a period of time. There was an issue there with him, but they're calling him a werewolf. No, you're not a werewolf. You're just a man with a few problems. I just think that people want to make bigger things out of it, that as an example, than what it really is.
Yep.
Oh, I agree totally. I like the way Archie has decided he's now going to be here for the whole show.
Look at that face. Look how gorgeous.
I love that face.
Well, that's very kind of you guys.
Oh, you got snow.
It's starting to snow out. It was snowing lightly earlier, but now it's snowing more out. So,
Well, I was talking to Dave Scott from CFC Canada earlier, and
Yeah.
he's got 3 foot of snow.
Yep.
Talk about Dave Scott
Right.
at CFZ Canada. What has he got, or has he had any projects or got any projects ongoing at the moment that you can talk to us about, that success rates, or what's happening in Canada?
What's happening in Canada? There's been a series in the summer, there was a whole series of incidents which appear to have been Bigfoot related.
Oh.
Now this is the interesting thing. It's in an area of wilderness on the edge of one of the fairly major cities in Ontario.
Ooh.
And the interesting thing is, it's the it's the best attested series of sightings that I know of in a semi-urban area, or somewhere that's adjacent to an urban area. And it looks like these things. Yes, Archibald.
Archie.
Oh, shall I give them a biscuit, boys and girls?
Yes.
As well.
Wants a biscuit.
Lorna wants to know, can Archie see Viv and Eric on the screen?
I know.
I don't know. One of my cats can. One of my Lilith. Lilith can watch television. She comes and watches Netflix with me. I don't know about Archie.
He's got
Anyway, he's had his biscuit now. Also, he's very old and he's got cataracts. But he's 16, and I don't want to put him through. He knows his way around. He can find. He's not completely blind, but I don't think it's fair at his age to put him through a nasty, painful operation.
Yeah.
No.
You don't want to do
John
that.
Tell said, well, it's like those Mexican hairless dogs that have,
Yeah,
I suppose, that have mange, that are now getting mistaken for chupacabra on every other cryptid post.
yes. Now, a lot of that is to do with me, because I was the first, back in 1999, I think it was 2004. No, 2003, a farmer called Devon McAnally shot a blue, hairless, dog-like creature that was eating his mulberries and that he suspected of having killed his pet peacock.
Oh.
And I was the first proper cryptozoologist actually on the scene to speak to. I didn't find out about it for about a year, but I was there a year later. And I interviewed him and I examined the bones of the creature. And again, this is another reason I dislike Disney. Disney Plus people made a documentary about it. They brought along the skeleton of a dog to compare it. Then they put the skeleton of the dog and the skeleton of this dog-like creature all into the same bin bag. So it's possible to tell which ones are which.
Yeah.
And both there's lots of DNA would have been completely corrupted.
Yeah.
Another reason I dislike Disney. Hang on, I'm trying. Oh yeah. Anyway, I discovered why people were calling it a chupacabra. What happened was that Mr. McAnally had taken some Polaroid photographs of this thing once he'd shot it, and before he buried it. And he went to the local equivalent of a corner shop, which was about 5 miles away, because he lives on a fairly tumble down ranch in a place called Elmendorf, which is fairly near to it's a rural area fairly near to San Antonio in South Texas. And he took these pictures to show to a friend of his who runs the local store, which is about 3 miles away. And she was from Puerto Rico, and she said, "Oh, it looks like you have your very own chupacabra," which Deb McAnally interpreted as being, "Oh, this is just like the things I know. It's a chupacabra." No, it's not a fucking chupacabra. A chupacabra is this straight. I tell you what, can you get a picture of the chupacabra up for me?
Yeah, I can.
But
Yeah.
the one drawn by Jorge Martin.
Come on.
And hang on, am I able to share screens on this thing? I don't know how this works.
You should be able to.
Okay, hold on a second.
Come on.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Come here.
So he mentioned about this blue or grey like looking type creature, this dog. Well, when John, you all know John is my black cat, and when he was shaved to have, we got him done when he was very young. But he's black. He's a black cat. But when you shave the skin, his skin was a bluey grey colour underneath, and that is very much like most animals, dogs, cats. I don't know about horses. Maybe Chantel. Maybe Chantel will be able to tell us. If you shave a horse, a black horse, has it got blue skin?
Well, no, yeah, like a bluish gray skin.
Yeah.
For horses.
So to me, that sounds like it was a dog that had mange.
Okay,
Yeah.
how do I? It's more complicated than that. I can explain. How can I share a picture?
Do you want me to do it?
Yes. Share to.
Good.
I still don't know how to bloody do it. God, I hate technology.
Yeah, I'll do it, but I don't have my computer out.
Well, why not, Eric?
Because I hate my video thing on my computer.
That's a good answer. Okay, I've just sent it to you on Messenger.
All right, I see this. Yeah. Right.
Hey, Nettie.
Why, Nettie? Nettie, we love you, Nettie. Not too much though. Just a little bit.
Who's Nettie?
She's a naughty nanny that lives. Well, I don't even know if she is a nanny, but we're just calling her naughty nanny from Manchester.
Okay, where was he? You got the picture?
Hang on. Yeah, I've got it. I'm just trying to. Oh God, what happened there? Oh, okay. Window. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, I see what I need to do. Okay.
Sorry about this, boys and girls. Talk amongst yourselves. I think you need some little interlude music, you know.
Interlude music. I need to change that. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Right. Here we go. You should be able to see that.
It's very small.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hang on. Let's see if I can make it bigger.
Sorry to be a pain in the neck.
You'll be able to stretch it out.
I can't make it bigger. Oh, I can download it. I've downloaded it. Okay. Let me stop sharing for a second, guys.
Or if you've got a phone or a iPad, you can just use your 2 fingers and pinch it apart. Is that the word? I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't let me do it on a laptop, I'm afraid. Well,
and it's all Eric's fault.
Yeah, it's all my fault. I see that all the time too.
It's Eric's fault.
When
Last sharing pictures, I ended up booting out of the chat.
It's quite difficult here, you know. Oh,
Yeah.
hang on.
It's like, wait, okay, now how do they get all those pictures out?
Eric's going to have it. Eric's going to do it.
I thought Eric couldn't do it because he was.
Well, I just took out my.
See, boys and girls, I told you it was all Eric's fault.
We're just blaming Eric anyway.
Well, I usually blame you.
Hey, listen.
Nico, you are the best of us.
Do you see Nico's picture there?
Yes.
Jim Kerr from Simple Minds.
Geez, yes.
Just tell him, don't you forget about me.
Don't you?
I saw them live in 1982 at Exeter University, and they were bloody terrible. It was the worst gig I've ever seen by a proper band. You know, I've seen gigs by local bands that were. Or this was the worst gig I've ever seen by a band who should have been good.
Yeah.
No,
a horse's skin is mostly black and grey.
You don't
know
want
when you take the...
No, she's saying this. She's saying that Simple Minds' skin is mostly black. Archie, get away from my biscuits.
Vikings don't need computers.
No, I have a biscuit here.
Oh, jeez. Ooh. Yeah. Which one do you want? There's several of them. Do you want the one that looks actually like somebody took a picture of a dog, or do you want the actual picture?
No, the one that
I don't have the one that you have.
Oh, shall I send it to Eric?
Yeah. You can send it to me.
what I thought you'd done.
No.
Christ, this is becoming like a sweary version of the Three Stooges.
Yeah. Oh, hang on.
Three Stooges and dog. Yes, Archie. You're a good boy.
That's a sitcom.
Finish off the crumbs.
Rita says that Eric's always bad and he treats her terribly, you know, Jonathan.
I'm sure. I don't think he's a very nice man.
No, he's not. And in Dan's absence, I think Eric needs to get it.
Okay. And let me.
Poor Rita. I feel very sorry for her.
I do. Do you know when she comes over here, I'm going to look after her. Eric's on his own.
Yep. Okay, now let me present.
And I think Eric will probably be wanting to come down and visit me. So.
Oh, he wants to go everywhere.
I hope I'll have moved house by then. So. When are you coming over, Eric?
Next year in August.
Well, that will be around the time of my 66th birthday. I will be 2/3 of a century.
Why isn't that?
Big party.
My days of big partying are long gone.
No, they haven't.
Why is it not sharing?
Bloody have.
No. Oh, something's happening.
Yes, that's.
It's small.
Yeah, it comes up small. I can't. Let me try.
Okay. Well, if you see it, boys and girls, I'm sure you can all see it is something that has been depicted as like an alien with a big bottom and spikes going down its back.
Yeah.
But it has been depicted as something
It
that
looks
is basically bipedal. That's
it looks
important.
alien, doesn't it? Not like an animal.
Well, that's like the other one.
Whereas the one from Elmendorf is a blue dead dog covered in enormous blue bottles.
But they had one like the alien one that was like.
How big is that? The proper chupacabra. How big is it supposed to be?
About between 4 and 5 feet tall, and it's only ever been reported in and around the high grassland plateau in Puerto Rico, around the town of Canóvanas. The name chupacabra was what on earth are you showing us a chupacabra's bottom by the looks of it?
He's saying arseholes in his own way.
That's my photograph, that is.
That's a dog?
Yeah, that's a dog.
No,
with mange.
it's not.
No, what is
it?
It's a simple hybrid between a coyote and a Mexican wolf with mange.
Wow.
And it belongs to a lady called Dr. Phyllis Canyon in Cuero in Texas. I interviewed her. I was there doing stuff for Channel 4 documentary some years, like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But the really weird thing about that is it was found, two of them were found dead. It was roadkill.
Oh, really?
And they both being DNA tested by a whole range of different labs, including UCLA in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
All said the same thing. It was a simple hybrid. So it's not an introgressive hybrid. They've not re-hybridized with each other. It means that one parent was a coyote and one parent was a Mexican wolf.
That's the same dog.
You know the weird thing? There are no fucking Mexican wolves in Texas. There have never been any Mexican wolves in Texas.
Yeah.
I tell you what, can you go back to the one before that, Eric? I'm going to, yes.
That one?
Stay there. I'm going to come back to that one in a second. Okay. There are no Mexican wolves in Texas. There have never been any Mexican wolves in Texas. In 1972, I think it was, the Mexican government and the American government cooperated and they caught all the wild ones that were in Mexico and in bits of New Mexico, took them all into captivity in New Mexico and did a captive breeding project.
Oh.
There are no, and never have, there used to be wolves in that part of Texas, but they weren't Mexican wolves. Mexican wolves are the most primitive subspecies of grey wolf.
Yeah.
And there have never been any in that part of Texas. Again,
Roger,
no.
Roger's
No.
just asked, the original chupacabra was supposed to have escaped from a laboratory in Puerto Rico. Is that right? Have you heard of that?
No, it isn't. I've been to the laboratory in I've been to that laboratory in Puerto Rico. I had a gun pulled on me by the security guards, which is
nice.
I'm quite proud of. That's nothing. Oh, come on! It's the sort of story back when I still used to drink would get me 3 pints in the pub.
Is that a gun in your pocket? Are you pleased to see me? That's what you should have said to him.
No, it was, is that a gun in your hand? Are you as trigger happy as all Americans are meant to be? Now I've insulted half the audience.
Yeah.
But I love you all, dear. I've always had great fun in America.
Coyotes can mix with wolves and dogs. Is that correct?
Sorry, can mix? Yes.
Yes. And dogs, just normal dogs, house.
Okay,
pet.
well, dogs are wolves.
Mm-hmm.
The grey wolf has one of the subspecies of the grey wolf is Canis lupus familiaris, which is the domestic dog.
Yeah.
And there are 8 or 9 other subspecies of the grey wolf, of which the Mexican wolf is the most primitive. But dogs and coyotes and wolves are all interbreedable.
Yeah.
They will also interbreed with the red wolf, which is arguable whether that is a separate species or not. It depends who you talk to.
Yeah.
Some people think that the red wolf is a separate actual North American species of wolf, like the coyote is.
Yeah.
But now the interesting thing about, I've got to give you a little
What
bit
is
of a
this?
lecture on dog genetics. It started off there was an ancestral wolf, and I can't remember what it was called, that actually lived in what's now southern Texas about 3 million years ago. And they slowly moved up, took over North America. As they took over North America, they turned into different species.
Mm-hmm.
One of the species was the coyote. One
Yeah.
of the species was this thing called a dire wolf, which is now extinct.
Mm-hmm.
And another one crossed the Bering Land Bridge into Asia. And somewhere in Asia, probably in China, it evolved into something which became the grey wolf. The grey wolf then carried on going westward, and probably in what is present day Iran, about 80,000 years ago, became domesticated and became the dog. Yes, Archie, we're talking about your heritage here, Doc. We're talking about your heritage and how you evolved in order to steal stuff out of bin bags.
You know, if Archie could speak, I could got this in my head. Archie would be saying to you, "But Dad, I am Wolf."
Yeah, oh God, you ought to see he howls at the moon. He does howl. He howls at the moon. He howls whenever I sing Beach Boys songs.
Yep.
He's going deaf now, so he can't hear it. But it used to be our party trick. Is if I sat down with my guitar and sang "Fun, Fun, Fun," the dog would go, "Oh!" As soon as I did, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh," the dog would then howl along with it. He's going deaf now, and he's forgotten.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Jonathan, can I ask you
the
what
grey.
what is this thing that we're looking at?
Oh, we'll come to that in a second, my sweet.
Okay.
Anyway, the grey wolf was domesticated and became the domestic dog.
Yeah.
The grey wolf then crossed the land bridge into Australia and was domesticated and became the dingo.
Yeah.
And then the grey wolf went back on itself and went back across the land bridge and colonized North America, whereby causing most of the other North American wolves to become extinct. So although it started off in America, it evolved into the modern wolf somewhere in Asia and then moved back into America again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, it's the coyote evolved from the wolf ancestor in America. It's a proper bona fide American species.
Yeah.
And some people say that the red wolf is a proper bona fide American species. Other people say that it's a complex introgressive hybrid between grey wolves and coyotes. So it all depends who you believe.
Yeah.
Right.
But whatever happens, there were never any grey wolves in the part of Texas where Phyllis Canyon managed to get hold of two hybrid Mexican. There were never any Mexican wolves in that part of Texas. So where the bloody hell did that DNA come from in order to be one of the parents of the two?
Do you think it's human interference?
That sounds very, very dirty.
I should have said. Do you think
No,
that's
no,
interference with the interbreeding, putting the two
no,
together?
I think that you can have I think you can have something, if you like calling it fossil DNA, that somehow there are bits of Mexican wolf DNA within the local dog population, within the local grey wolf population, within the local coyote population. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
which I think there is a thing in genetics which is very poorly understood, but a lot of my evidence goes towards this, that you can have more primitive creatures' DNA hidden inside the genome of
Yeah.
a population, a more modern population of animals, and then somehow, for reasons we don't know why, it can pop out.
Yeah. Rogers just said that his cousin's friend in Michigan had hit what looked like a coyote, but it was larger. Fish and Wildlife took it and did a DNA test and found out it was exactly half coyote and half wolf.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And Michigan, I believe Michigan has still got a grey wolf population.
They even come down towards us a little bit more because we're right near Michigan. So
Where are you?
I'm in Wisconsin, up in Door County, by my parents' old house. When it snowed out and lake got frozen over, we would see wolves out there all the time.
Yeah, I've got friends in Wisconsin. But anyway,
Yes.
to answer your question about this rather unpleasant looking creature there that we had a picture of.
I think it looks cute, not unpleasant.
You're fucking weird.
Gotta be weird too, because I think.
Do you think it's weird, cute, Eric?
Yeah, I think it's cute.
But you're fucking weird. Don't encourage it.
Eric's fucking weird.
Now,
I admit it.
a lot of the people who have seen the original chupacabra in Puerto Rico have described it as having a face like the devil.
Okay.
Which means that artists from all over the Western world have portrayed it as looking like that.
Yeah.
Because that is the European idea of the devil, which is basically a demonized version of the horned god Canunos.
Okay.
Yeah. To me, that looks like a bat.
Yeah.
Big ears.
Yeah,
Belly body.
Still got the goat-like face.
Yeah.
I have always thought, when I had heard that, yes, senor, these things have the face of a devil, I then went, and then I always thought that that meant they'd have a face that looked like that. Then I went into a Catholic church in San Juan in Puerto Rico, and I saw their paintings of the devil
Wow.
that don't look anything like that at all. They don't have the flat goat-like face. The Hispanic, or at least the Puerto Rican Hispanic image of the devil is this really nasty looking rat-like creature with a muzzle that comes out. So when the people say, yes, senor, we see something, he has the face of the devil, it doesn't have a face that looks anything like that. That is the cultural, that's just the cultural, what's the thing you leap to? Well, what's it called when you leap to conclusions? It's the cultural conclusion that people come from thinking that everybody's face of the Judeo-Christian devil is going to be the same. Well, it ain't.
But when you think about the ancient Egyptians, there is no devil really, but they have Anubis, which is the god of the underworld,
Man
which would
said,
be devil, which is a dog.
yeah. But the one in Puerto Rico is a rat-like creature. So suddenly, can you go back, please, to the Eric? Can you go back to the picture I had up there?
Get going.
Yeah, hold on.
No, the black and white one.
Yeah, I'll find it. I gotta go back to.
You can see that we rehearsed this, can't you?
Yeah, we're very professional. At least Derek knows what he's doing. I don't.
I have, yeah, that one now. Can you imagine that instead of having the flat face like a devil or an alien, forget about the face that somebody on some bloody forum somewhere thought it looked like the Whitley Strieber alien. Imagine if that has a rodentine face, like a rat or a guinea pig or something. You've got a stylized picture of a porcupine.
Yeah.
And again, this is again for those of you in America, there are two main groups of porcupines. There are the old world porcupines, which are larger, mostly live on the ground, and can walk partially bipedally like that. And there are the New World porcupines, which are mostly live in trees, have shorter spines, and are the porcupine that you know very well. One of the things that I found out was that back in the days of the Atlantic slave trade, one of the places that the slave ships would end up as a sort of distribution center was Puerto Rico.
Right.
This picture looks like a very stylized picture of an African crested porcupine, which are and have always and are still eaten widely as food, bushmeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're eaten in it. The Indian crested porcupine and Himalayan crested porcupine. You've probably eaten one. I've eaten one. I've eaten. They're commonly eaten. They're food.
Yeah.
And they're also almost indestructible. So if you took 100 of them in crates on your ship in order not probably to feed the slaves, they could just sink or swim. But
Yeah.
at least the crew and the captains and anybody else, any other traders, one of the easiest things for them to do would be to have African crested porcupines in crates that they could knock on the head and then cook, because they're good portable food. And it's the way of keeping them fresh is keeping them alive, rather than having dead porcupines hanging up. And it's not too far of a leap of paradigm shift to think that when they ended up in San Juan unloading the ship, that over the years quite a few porcupines probably escaped.
Yeah.
And so you have these weird things with the face of the Latin American devil, the rodent face, spikes down its back and walking semi-bipedal. You've got porcupines in Puerto Rico, and that's what the chupacabra is.
Yeah.
But when
This is all interesting, isn't it?
When Devon McAnally took his pictures of the dead blue dog, oh, let me see. Do you mind if I give you another thing to look up for?
Let me do.
Eric, can you type in Elmendorf?
Hold on. I got to go all the way back to my original search.
Getting a snapshot of Eric's screen. It's brilliant.
Type in Elmendorf beast.
Oops. That's not how you spell beast.
Beast. And you will see one that is it's dead, it's lying on the ground, and it's got black dots on it.
This one.
Hang on, let me have a look.
Yeah, looks like it.
Let me see, I've completely lost you now. I've managed to forget, I can't find you. Here you are. Yeah, look at that. That's the original picture that Devon McAnally took to the shop where the Hispanic lady said, "Oh, Devin, you have your very own chupacabra." It doesn't mean that she was saying that is what the chupacabra looks like. She was saying, you've got your very own monster there.
Yeah.
What that is some sort of member of the dog family with mange. But there's one thing I don't understand. And that is, and I've checked this, my stepdaughter's a vet. For those of you across the Atlantic, that means she's a doctor who works with animals, not that she fought in Vietnam. But my stepdaughter, the vet, said that any animal with that amount of mange would be so ill it'd be hardly able to walk, let alone chasing around and killing peacocks and being able to be shot while it was quite cheerfully eating mulberries off a tree.
What are the black dots on it?
Blue bottle.
Oh!
Flies.
Oh, wow.
And that also shows how big it is. It's not very big.
No.
It is some sort of hybrid between a feral dog, a coyote. It's some mixture of feral dog, coyote, and wolf.
Yeah.
That has got a skin disease. It has got a new species. I think it's got a new species of sarcoptic mange that isn't as debilitating as the species of sarcoptic mange that we actually know about.
Yeah.
But the reason everybody calls them chupacabra is because Devon McAnally misunderstood a joke that I can't remember her name, Dolores, I think, who I interviewed. I've met her. She's a lovely woman. at the corner shop actually meant. She was saying, "Yo, you have strange, mysterious animals on your land now, just like we have the chupacabra." And it became, ever since, everybody's now calling these fucking hairless dogs, which I've called blue dogs, because
Yeah.
there are still things that we don't understand about them.
Yeah.
But they have got absolutely nothing to do with chupacabra. And people are trying to
Look at a picture.
twist the actual evidence to fit their theories, and claiming that the reason that they're claiming that their front legs are shorter than their hind legs, and that which they're not. That's purely just aspect ratio.
Yeah.
If you look, the legs are just the same length as they would be for anything, any animal. But they're claiming that these things are vampiric. They're not vampiric at all.
No.
They're not vampiric any more than Archie is. I mean, they probably.
I don't know. I think Archie could do some damage if he wanted to.
Yes, he could, probably to a packet of biscuits.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to find crumbs in my beard, which shows how.
Love him. Eric, Lorna wants to know, as a child, what warnings did your parents give you for if you encountered a wolf
Don't feed wild animals.
or other wild animals?
Mm.
Did she ever warn you not to be?
So we grew up around foxes, bears, mountain lions, and basically I was in the woods by myself as a child from morning until night.
Wow. What about you, Jonathan? What advice would you give about encountering wolves and bears and things? What advice would you give people if you come across one?
Keep your distance, be respectful. And I think that the vast majority of human animal interactions that end up in death or injury to either the human or the animal are because the person behaved stupidly.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, there's somebody else come to visit.
Is that Peanut?
That's
Cute.
Aww.
This is what happens when I do live broadcasts when I'm in bed. All the animals haven't joined in.
Well, I've put up a link there. I don't know if you can see that on the bottom, guys, for the Center of
The Center for Fortean Zoology.
And if you go there, you will see lots of periodicals, books, information galore of all sorts of things from all sorts of authors. There's a good one on there. I'm going to give him a shout out, Richard Freeman. If you haven't got one of his books, buy one. You will not be disappointed. And also Jonathan's books are on there too. And they are a very good read. So, and I'm not just saying that because he's here. They are very, very good books. So
yes, I bribed her to say that.
I've actually got two of your books, you know.
Have you?
Yes. And they're signed. I'm expecting the next book will be To Vivian, Fuck Off, Love Jonathan. I'm waiting for that one. No, you signed them.
Did I?
Yeah.
I must have been drunk.
No, I did bribe you with cake though and biscuits. The biscuits weren't great, but the cake was all right.
The cake was fantastic.
Well, you remember that, but not signing. Okay.
Yeah, a banana cake with the blueberries in.
Blueberry and banana bread I made. I thought, what would happen if I put blueberries in it? And it turned out all right.
Why is it called banana bread, not banana cake?
Because I made it in a loaf, a tin that was the shape of the loaf. I suppose. I don't know.
Oh, now Peanuts decided he's going to take over the show. He's
And
dog off.
Nettie said she's going to look at that website.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well done. Thank you, my dear.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good website.
But the whole thing, the whole watchword of everything that I've stood, because I've been doing this professionally now for 35 years, and it's been my hobby for over 50 years, and I've been doing it professionally for 35 years. Don't let my boyish good looks deceive you. And the fact is, when somebody says something, don't take them at face value. If somebody says something, if I say something, it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. If I say something but produce half a dozen citations for evidence that backs it up, it doesn't mean it's going to be true, but it means it's more likely to be true than somebody who says something and has nothing with which they can back it up.
Yeah.
The whole point of science, and I may be the weirder end of science. I may be very esoteric end of science. I may believe in all sorts of weird and wonderful shit, but I am a scientist, and the whole point of science is to find the truth by coming up with hypotheses and then experimenting to verify those hypotheses and get more and more and more evidence, so you can eventually find out what the truth is most likely to be.
Yeah.
And the trouble is, with an awful lot of people in the business we're in, not just cryptozoology, but in all the people who are interested in ghosts, the paranormal, UFOs, all this stuff, is they take everything at face value. They don't use
I also think, though, Jonathan, that we need to be a bit kinder to each other. Yes, we need to question. Yes, we need to ask the questions that other people don't dare ask. But at the same time, we need to find a happy medium where you're not going to say, oh, you're talking shit. That's a load of rubbish. You're a madman or a mad woman, and call them out for being fake. We need
Well,
to
I've only ever said that to you, Viv.
but we need to find a nicer way of telling people this is what I think that picture is, and give them reasoning behind it, rather than, oh, that's a fake, or that's this, or that's
Exactly. And that's all part of using the scientific method.
Yeah.
Because you use all the available evidence and then experiment to find more evidence.
Yeah.
One way or the other. And you've got to be nice to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree totally. You've got to be nice to each other, but that doesn't mean that you accept everybody's story bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Of course.
But the trouble is, especially in Britain these days, you've got this absolutely horrific expression. Well, this is my truth.
Yeah.
Fuck off. If something is true, it is true. You can interpret that truth in a different way, but I am a foul-mouthed old hippie. If Viv says, John Downs is quite nice. That's not her truth. It's just her being nice.
Yeah, my truth would be if somebody said, "But this is my truth." Well, actually, then if it's your truth but not the truth, you're lying.
Exactly. But let's be nice to them, not actually say you're a fucking liar.
Yeah, yeah.
I still don't know why you say this is suitable for only for over 18s.
Well,
Yeah, I
you
went to
never know what's going to happen and what comes out of Dan's mouth these days. So we have to put a warning up just to be nice to people.
Well, Dan's worse than me. He's even worse than Eric.
I know. He's worse than me. I'm quite sane, really. I'm the sane one of the outfit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you're. Yeah, I would go. I think you're one of the saner people I know in this bloody business.
I'll take that.
Like I said to everybody else, I live in my own reality. So
Yes, I did that for years, but then I stopped taking drugs.
That is funny. Right, listen, guys. We've been on now for an hour and 20 minutes, so I suppose we better end the show here. But Jonathan, we've just literally skimmed the surface when it comes to talking about cryptids. So we want you back.
Oh God, master!
You got you. So you're coming back, whether you like it or not.
Only if
And we are going to continue this conversation because there are other areas that we want to explore that we haven't touched yet.
Oh dear. I look forward to it, my darlings. I always enjoy coming on here. I always enjoy being rude to Vivian.
And anyway, guys, look, if you get a chance, you have a show that goes out through your social media I know it's on a Sunday afternoon. And
completely wrong.
Is it Sunday afternoon? What day is it?
It's Saturday, and it doesn't go out to social media. But apart from that,
Find it. I found it on your
show. If you go to YouTube, you can find a channel called CFZ On the Track.
That's the one.
And I do a show called On the Track, which is out for half an hour on Saturday afternoons at 3, and for a quarter of an hour on Wednesday evenings at 6:30. We also do a monumentally stupid TikTok show, which goes out at least twice a week, which is basically involves me and a certain charming young lady, with her being charming and me dressed as a chicken.
I was going to say, mention the chicken.
Well, and we also have to mention Wally the comedy rhinoceros. He turns up. It's basically hard science, weird shit, and surreality. It is a show of hard science, and it is seriously put forward through the medium of glove puppets, people fucking about, and silliness.
A talking out Archie.
And Archie talks. Peanuts in the show. There's Peanuts. Peanuts in the show. Archie's in the show. Archie's in bed now, and he's now snoring through one end and farting through the other. You can see why I sleep.
That's what you say. Really, it's you farting. Tell the truth. Blaming the dog.
I'm shocked, Vivian. See what I put up with, boys and girls. If you want to watch real high-class televisual entertainment, check out my show on Saturdays and Wednesdays.
It is good.
And Vivian, do you want to come on my show as a guest sometime?
Yeah, of course. Just you tell me when and I'll be there.
That'll be brilliant. I can't imagine anything better.
He's going to pick on me. You do know that, everyone.
Me? Do you think I would do something like that? I think we ought to take a poll. Can we actually do polls with the audience while they're watching? I think you can, can't you?
I don't know.
I believe you can. That would be really funny to see How many?
Do you know what?
Actually,
I'd be
I'm going to be
disappointed.
nasty to you.
I would be disappointed if you wasn't, you know. We do love each other very much, you know.
Oh, I adore that girl. She's
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful.
Right, Eric, have you got anything last you want to say or ask Mr. Downs? Or
No, not right now.
In other words, he's offended by my actions. He just wants to go away and cry.
Your actions.
Eric's weird. He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
No, he loves you, really.
That's why I like being on this show with you fucking idiots. It's great. And yes,
Right.
gentlemen, I am in bed with the cat.
That's where I'm going to be soon.
Mm.
Not
Guys,
in bed with me and the cat.
not in bed with you and the cat, in my bed with my cat and a heated blanket.
Oh, you know how to dash a man's hopes, don't you?
Right, guys, we are going to end the show here. Thank you very much for tuning in and for your questions in the chat. I hope you enjoyed tonight. We are going to have Jonathan back on, and we are going to continue this conversation. Eric, tomorrow, are you going on your show tomorrow night?
I don't know what's going on because Dan's sick. I don't know if him. There's no one said anything, so
We'll find out tomorrow.
Who just shouted what?
Hmm?
I just heard someone shouting.
Wasn't here.
no.
No.
Wasn't here. I heard this through the iPad. I heard shouting.
They're doing work on my house. I don't know.
Oh, it could be in Eric's.
Oh, I forget that over in the colonies it's actually still daytime, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still daytime here. It's 6 hours behind you.
I'm not sure there's a way of calling the United States the colonies without anybody being out.
You get away with the most, you know, Jonathan.
I get away with the most appalling things.
Yeah. Well, we wish Dan get well soon, and there may or may not be a show tomorrow with Tim and Eric, but we'll look out for that. But Jonathan is definitely coming back, and we are going to be continuing with this conversation. What are you doing next week, Jonathan?
I don't know. Do you want me on the
Come on
show?
here.
You want me back, do you? Next week? Okay.
The saga continues.
Oh, it will do. I just wonder how many of my animals are going to join in and try and usurp me then.
Right. Anyway, take care, everyone, and thank you for joining us, and we'll speak to you soon.
Good night.
Bye bye, everybody.